I've only gotten scarier through COVID just because self-isolation has just made me
There's
more,
no one to keep you
normal. It's made me more myself than I've ever been, and that's so scary.
I'm basically feral.
We are Galax-E! And we are back with yet another video. Who knows how many at this point, how we're going to split things up. But this is the last subject in the many subjects we are discussing today. So apologies for how chaotic this is. We are back with Katherine.
Woohoo!
Who was originally a member of Galax-E way back when we formed in 2017. And then she abandoned us to go teach in Korea for 3 years. Mm-hmm. And now she's visiting. Mm-hmm. And we have many questions, so many questions about what she's been doing with her life, how she's been living in Korea, what her job is like, everything. We're so interested that we decided to make a video about it, many videos about it. So this time our subject is about dating life in Korea.
Spicy.
And spicy.
Spicy.
You can tell where this is gonna go.
The flame.
Especially I know where this is gonna go because out of all of us, me and Katherine have actually hung out a couple times already. So we've already kind of discussed these things, and we always end up in a place of anger. So it's
always ends in anger.
It's I warned Jenna at least.
I wrote these questions down in complete ignorance and naivete.
Yeah.
So
blame Jenna. This is all Jenna's fault.
Thanks, Jenna.
Yeah. Thanks, Jenna. Put that in the comments. Thanks, Jenna.
Hashtag thanks, Jenna.
All in capital letters. So we're actually gonna pass this one over to Ashley because she's our resident hoe.
I was just gonna say that.
This is more. These questions are more so that she would ask.
How many dates have you had?
In Korea?
Or like boyfriends. I don't know.
Oh, dates was hard.
Yeah, dates is a lot.
I
Yeah,
honestly
so we can
couldn't
do
tell you.
boyfriends.
Okay, boyfriends in Korea? I guess I've had 4. Yeah, 4.
Is that including all boyfriends?
What?
In my whole life?
I'm saying one night boyfriends as well.
That ain't a boyfriend. That's not a boyfriend.
That's a dildo with legs.
I wish I never said that.
It's a dildo with opinions. So less superior to...
True.
Look. It's all
It's a
fun and
joke.
games. We're joking. It's fine. We're punching up. Remember that. We are punching up. At the penis.
Joking, but she doesn't look like she's joking. We're joking, okay? We're joking.
Friends.
It's a joke. I'm joking. I'm just really mean to everybody. Then just get it more, because here we are.
Where do you think some of the best places are to meet like available guys or like
Eligible bachelors.
Yeah, where like
bachelors.
singles places are in Korea?
Any favorites?
Where to go hunting?
If you want to go hunting, if you'd like to go hunting for a man, personally, I've had fantastic success on Bumble, the app.
Really?
Yeah, Bumble in Korea's bomb. It is so good. I've actually, like, not even just for dating, but just for making friends. I've made so many good guy friends off of that app.
That's good.
Yeah, and there's like a lot of foreigners on there. It's like 50% foreigners, 50% Koreans. Like pretty much everyone on there speaks English because I think it's more of like an English-based app.
Yeah.
So if you don't know Korean, that's really nice. Yeah, people on there are like genuine people who know how to have a conversation, which is great. If you're looking for something casual, clubs are obviously the best way to go. Most of my friends have had good success on a night out. So there's that. If you would like some fun. Why am I talking like an 8-year-old?
I'm just enjoying watching you devolve. It's pretty great.
Yeah, I know what's happening.
Peak content.
Peak content. Do you ever hate your life? The same.
Every day.
Every day.
Every second.
Every second. Yeah. Hello Talk is another app that's a complete mess.
I think I've heard of this one.
Yeah, it's like language exchange.
It's just for people with fetishes, is it not?
Yeah, mostly.
Yeah.
Well, Hello Talk is okay, but there's one, Meef. Oh my god. If you want an actual trash can burning flame fire with a lot of great stories, you should get Meef. It's spelled M-E-E-F-F.
So like, okay, I was like, so like beef, but with the M?
Almost, but with an extra E.
Oh
I
my God.
smell like Meef. I smell like Meef. But yeah, Meef is great. There's always Tinder, but you know, Tinder is pretty same worldwide.
Yeah, it's
so.
universal.
Yeah, Tinder's universal. Yeah, but I would say those. I've heard other people, like, if you're looking for a Korean man, if that's your thing, language, like actual language exchange, like they have like meetups you can go to. That's a thing. I think people meet their partners there quite often. So, yeah, there's definitely plenty of ways to date in South Korea.
There's plenty of fish in the sea, but also a lot of trash.
Mostly trash.
You said your friends had success in the nightclubs.
Mm-hmm.
Are the nightclubs a good selection, or is it only a good selection while you're drinking and then the next morning it's like
Is it always a regret?
No,
Or
I don't
hashtag
think
no
so.
regrets?
Yeah, I would say it's hashtag no regrets. Like, the people who go to clubs are just normal people.
Yeah?
Like, yeah. I mean, I can't really think of anyone who had, like, a really terrible experience.
oh, that's good.
Yeah.
So I was gonna say clubs are like the sketchiest way to meet people.
I
Yeah,
agree.
right?
That,
Yeah.
every guy that I've had any interaction with at a club has been terrible.
Mhm.
Not a single one has been good.
Yeah. And that's
Yeah.
the thing.
Ashley's like trying to figure. You're like ready to
like-
refute. You're like, no, there isn't one.
No.
I got nothing.
That was also my experience before I moved to Korea. I think I mentioned this in the other video, right? About, like, the club culture in Korea.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's super different from the rest of the world. And it's just a lot more friendly. So I guess, like I said this in the previous video, but the people who go to clubs, at least in my experience, every time I've gone clubbing, like, it's genuinely just people going out to have a good time with their friends. Like, they're not necessarily looking to hook up, they're not looking to be creepy, they're not looking to just, like, hit on people. Like, it's very natural.
It's not as predatory.
Yeah, it's not
Yeah.
predatory. It's just,
Okay.
like, if you meet people at a club, it's like, you guys just happen to dance beside each other and strike up a conversation, and maybe you hit it off. And,
Thank
like,
you.
yeah. I will say this, though. I have not experienced this, and luckily, I don't think my friends have either. But date rape is very common in Korea.
Yeah.
It's in the news, like, almost weekly about some girl who got gang raped, like, at a hotel. And I see this on Facebook a lot. Like, not now because of COVID, but, like, girls would always be posting, like, I was sexually assaulted last night. Like, somebody spiked my drink. So, and these were foreign girls who were, like, also teaching there. Like, it happens so often. It's a really well-known thing. So, if you do, I would definitely encourage you to go out. Korea is a very safe country, but always watch your drink and make sure you're with friends that you trust who, like, will watch you. Because, like I said, it hasn't happened to me, thank God.
Also, be careful when the drinks get mixed for you too, because sometimes they know the bartender.
Yes, the bartenders are in
Don't
on it.
drink.
Just be sober. Or make your own
Pre-game,
drinks.
pre-game only. Do not drink in public.
Yes, go to the GS.
Everything is unsafe.
Yes.
Have you noticed if there's any differences between dating Korean guys and Canadian guys? If you've noticed any, or
So many. Oh, God. I would say the biggest difference I've noticed, I haven't actually dated that many Koreans, though. Like, I only dated one Korean guy, and everyone else was
also
either
foreigner?
foreign or, yeah, like, grew up abroad. Like, Korean who grew up abroad. But the biggest difference that I've noticed through my experience and from what my friends have gone through, definitely is, I don't know how to say it, like, possession?
Yeah,
Yeah, like,
you're an object to be owned and
Yes.
controlled.
but I think Korean girls do this too, because everyone I know who's dated a Korean girl has kind of said the same thing. I don't want to say it's a bad thing. It's definitely just a cultural difference. But I think in Korea, when you're in a relationship, like, you kind of owe it to your partner to...
Follow the rules that they give you.
Yeah, like it's, to us, from like the Western perspective, it would be considered extremely clingy and, like, possessive.
like controlling.
Controlling, yeah.
bit? Yeah.
Yeah, because you, like, constantly have to tell them where you are, who you're with, what you're doing. If you're female, you are not allowed to hang out with males or like talk to males. Even if you had like 10 best guy friends before you entered the relationship,
They're gone now.
they're gone. Like you
Delete them.
cannot talk to another man. Like and just very like if they text you, you have to respond within like 10 minutes or they'll like that will inevitably lead to a fight of like, why didn't you answer me? What are you doing? Who are you with? Like kind of stuff like that. So I think maybe that's kind of romanticized there because it's considered like you give your everything to that person. But that leads to a second huge cultural difference, which is relationships move fast and end fast in Korea. Like, I feel like in Western culture, you kind of, when you meet someone, you get to know them, you start to fall for each other, like, things kind of develop naturally.
More
like,
often, yeah.
Yeah, either you'll meet as friends and you'll just genuinely develop feelings for each other. And
or like you go on a
dating.
date, but it's not really a date. It's like you're kind of we don't
Getting
put a
to know
label
each
on
other.
it. Yeah, it's like we'll see how this goes.
Yes.
And maybe we'll put a label on it. But
Yeah.
well,
And like you'll like meet for a month or two and then maybe you'll get to the point where you're like, oh, let's be exclusive. Like, let's be boyfriend and girlfriend.
Mm-hmm.
But in Korea, it's like you meet once, if you like each other, you're boyfriend and girlfriend. But then
Next
after
week.
like like next week or a month later or 2 months later, if you don't like each other, the thing is half the time they don't even break up. They just ghost you. Like, I have friends who've been in relationships for well over a year.
And been ghosted?
And been ghosted. One of my friends was engaged and she got ghosted by her boyfriend on the weekend he was supposed to move in.
What?
Yep.
How?
Yeah. This poor girl has had so many ridiculous dating stories.
Oh
I could write a book
God.
about her dating life. Like, bless her soul. That was definitely the worst one.
Would you say you have like an ideal type?
For myself?
Mm-hmm.
Like, looks-wise?
Just like in general, like
You
personality
can do
and
it.
looks.
Like looks
kind of
or
separate it.
and/or personality.
Skills you wish they had.
Independence. That's a big one I learned recently. Oh my god, if your mom needs to do everything for you, like, whew. Sorry, I'm a little traumatized.
That's also
You can't-
that's not a Korean thing. That's a rich boy thing.
I think that's just a worldwide thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I knew so many of my brother's friends to this day. Mommy does everything, and I'm like,
Yeah.
you are all grown adults. Some of you are getting married. What? You need to do your own laundry, please.
What I've learned is that most men don't want a girlfriend. They want a second mom. They want, like, mom improved. Mom
Yeah.
2.0. Yeah.
We're
so
breaking
sorry.
Jenna. We
Jenna
are
just-
destroying Jenna.
Jenna's like, this isn't what I wanted.
Maybe she's
Why am I
realizing some
here?
things that she didn't realize before.
I thought that was
Yeah.
like a safe question. I thought you were like,
There's no safe
I
question.
thought you were
Never
like,
safe
oh,
questions.
it'd be lovely if he could cook fabulous meals because I love good food. Like, that's what I was thinking.
Okay, look. We're not interviewing BTS here. We're not gonna get the flowery answers that everybody wants to hear.
You're
We're
gonna get the real
We're
hard
gonna get the
shit.
real
You're
truth
gonna get...
about the world and how terrible it is.
Yes, you're gonna get the post-corona pandemic mindset. But no, actually, realistically, I don't have a type.
Yeah.
Easy answer. I just...
If you click, you click.
If you click, you click. If
Yeah.
you get along, like, I don't really care about looks. I don't care about nationality. I don't care about much. As long as they're not a Trump-supporting racist. Which is what my perfect ex-boyfriend was.
Oh,
and I only found out
no.
3 months
Oh,
into our
no.
relationship.
Oh,
I'm still
no.
traumatized by this. He was
Oh,
so
no.
lovely. He was in the military. And
That's
I
a
mean,
red
I
flag.
should have known.
That's a
I
red
should have
flag.
known.
Have you or any of your friends faced any challenges trying to date as foreigners? You kind of went over that a little bit, but
Yeah, I would say, like, just people not taking you seriously or trying to use you for, like, sexual satisfaction. And I think a thing that a lot of foreigners face as well is when they do get into a serious relationship, a lot of Korean families are very traditional and they don't want their children dating non-Koreans.
Yeah.
So you can actually meet someone and fall madly in love, and then
The family rejects you.
they finally introduce you to their parents, and the parents are like, absolutely not. Like, if you marry this person, we're going to disown you. Like, you have to be with a Korean.
That's so weird.
Yeah.
I never understand that.
I think it's happening much less these days. Like, I think Korea is becoming a very global country, and families realize that, and they're almost, like, excited.
They're getting
to
used to it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they're maybe not, like, totally accepting of it, but, like, they're not as against it as they used to be. And I think a lot of families are even, like I said, a bit excited about it. Like,
I know there's been a lot of interracial couples on TV.
Yes.
That, like, on those, like, the shows with the kids.
Yeah.
Where they're, like, raising the
Superman
kids and stuff.
Returns.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
the show I'm thinking of.
But I have noticed Korea's having foreigners on their TV shows and commercials a lot more.
Yeah, it's
A
becoming
lot
more of
more
a... There's been a few celebrities that have really kind of broke through the barrier.
Yeah.
And are making it more commonplace
Yeah.
and, like, acceptable.
Yeah.
Which
So I
is
think
really
people
cool.
are getting more comfortable with the idea of foreigners, and like it's almost like humanizing them more, so to make Koreans see us as people. I don't know how else to say that.
That's valid.
But like, yeah, so families are a bit more open to the idea of like, it's not just someone who's so different, it's like still a person who can learn Korean and like understand your culture and adapt to your culture and like become part of your family even if they don't look like you.
You can combine
Yeah.
into ultimate family.
Best locations to take your dates. I know you were talking about
Cafes.
like, cafe culture. Yeah. Cafe
Cafes.
culture is really good.
Korea
Oh my
stands for
gosh.
cafe.
Was there any like specific restaurants like where you were staying or something that you would recommend, or like?
It depends on what you like, honestly. There's one place in Seoul, in Yeouido, that I really love. It's called Sky Farm. I took my mom there when she came to visit, but it's like, I don't even know, I want to say it's on the 50th floor.
Oh my
I don't know
God.
exactly, but it's like in one of this big business buildings by the Han River. And it's basically got this like, not 360 view, but almost 360 view of Seoul. Like you see all of southern Seoul, you see the river, you can see Namsan and Bukhansan and everything. And it's kind of like a fusion Korean Western restaurant. Like if I remember correctly, they have a lot of pastas. It's mostly Italian style, but they had, I think, some burgers and salads and stuff. The food there's really, really good, and it's not that expensive. Like one dish is like 25 or 30,000 won, which is like 25 or 30 bucks here. It's like a farmhouse made of windows
Wow.
inside on the 50th floor.
Oh my
like
God,
I don't know how to
that's
explain it. You have to
crazy.
see
Wow.
it. It's so beautiful.
It's like an art piece almost.
Kind of, yeah. Like
Yeah.
I think they hold a lot of weddings there because there's this huge like banquet table in the middle of it. It almost looks like a giant bird cage. I don't really know how to explain it. Like you have to see it. I'll show you guys pictures after. But
Well, we'll
it's
put
so
pictures
beautiful.
in the video.
Yes.
So you guys
Yeah.
can see what we're talking about. Or
Yeah.
what she's talking about. We'll see it later.
Also, if you go near Namsan Tower, like just underneath Namsan, there's this street, well, this area called Haebangchon, HBC. And I don't remember exactly what the street is. If you guys have watched Itaewon Class, it's where
good drama.
it's where the second pocha was.
Oh,
Like
yeah,
the
yeah.
second bar that they moved to. That street, that place is actually a real place. Like you can go there.
Oh.
It's actually one of my favorite cafes. It's called Oriole. That cafe is amazing. And there's a place beside it called the Royal Food and Drink. I think they closed it for dining now, but if you go up to like the second and third floor, you get this huge view of the city in front of you with Namsan behind you. You can go to the rooftop and get like coffee and sandwiches and burgers and all this stuff. But it's one of the like factory style cafes. Both Oriole and the Royal are like factory style. So they're kind of
Industrial looking.
yeah, they're like this is my favorite thing about Korea is these like industrial cafes, because it's basically these old like crumbling warehouses and crumbling buildings. Like the concrete is literally falling off the walls. There's holes in the wall.
You see in a lot of Korean dramas you'll see places like that.
Yes,
Yeah.
it's such a popular
It's like
aesthetic
it's like a popular style now.
yeah,
Cool.
because it's very minimalist and really like grungy. But they just turn it into these amazing like little holes in the wall, like cafes and restaurants and stuff. So anyway, that street is full of these little places, and like they're opening a lot of pop-up shops there now. So if you want to do a bit of shopping and then like walk up to Namsan and then walk down to Itaewon to have dinner, there's lots of good restaurants there. Like that's one of my favorite areas in Seoul. It's really nice.
And best dates you've had in Korea, in terms of like, were there any grand gestures or
Anything memorable
Anything
in a positive light.
The first guy I dated there, he was really sweet. He was like the only Korean guy I dated. So he kind of knew everything that there was to do. So he probably took me on the best dates, I guess. But like our first date, we went to the aquarium at Lotte Tower. That was really fun. That was so cute. We just walked around the aquarium and like the whale was following us around. There's like
Aw.
a narwhal or beluga or something in there. I don't know if it's still there. This was years ago, but like it was so cute. And then we just took pictures together, and that was a really fun date. He also took me to, we went on a hiking date. And what mountain was this? I don't remember. Anyway, there's this mountain just south of Seoul, and we met up with a few of his friends, and we went hiking in the fall. The fall colors in Korea are incredible. But when we got to the top, it was so foggy out that day, so we couldn't see anything like 5 feet past us, so there was no view. But when we got back down to the bottom, Korean mountains are very well laid out. Like, they're not really like hiking. They're more just like pleasant walks uphill, because there's like stairs the whole way. All the paths are like, like laid out for you.
Kind of cleared out, like, to a degree.
Yeah,
good infrastructure on the mountains.
Very good infrastructure. And at the bottom of each mountain, they've got like shopping areas. You can buy like hiking clothes, and there's always tons of restaurants. Like these little restaurants like built into the mountain, kind of.
Oh, neat.
Yeah. And we went to this one that was literally built over a river. Like, you went into this, I don't even know how to explain this. You went into this like outdoor seating area that was, it had like a roof, like a thatched roof built over it.
Mm-hmm.
But the tables were the big pagoda style tables where you took your shoes off and you just sat like on the wooden pagoda with like the table in the middle. But the pagodas were built over the river. So like you would lean over and there was a rushing river underneath you. And we ordered samgyetang, like the hot chicken ginseng soup. It was so cold out. It was like the beginning of November.
That's really good. I love that soup.
But yeah, I would say that was like definitely one of the most memorable because it was so Korean. Like, that was the moment that I was like, I'm in Korea.
Like, I did it.
Yeah. Because any other date, you're kind of just like, I'm just with a boy doing some stuff, like going for dinner, whatever. But that one was very like,
you really experienced it.
Yeah. That felt like a true like Korean experience, I guess, which was really cool. Like if you're living in Korea.
And have you had any like bad dates? Or,
What was it? The worst?
Yeah,
the worst. Date.
The
Like,
worst
that was
date.
just like, this guy is just
Oh my god, I'm never gonna forget.
bare minimal.
Yes.
I feel like there's so many stories.
So many. Actually, to be honest, I've been quite lucky with
Really?
the dates I've gone on. There's 3 that stand out, but there's one. There's one that stands out above the rest.
The winner.
The winner. I'm never gonna forget this guy. I forget his name,
Good.
but I don't forget him. It was when I was still living in Suwon. Like, I would say I'd probably been in Korea for about 8 or 9 months at this point. And I met this Korean American guy. I want to say his name was like Dave or Chris. Something like that.
Something basic.
Yeah. Anyway, we met in Gangnam. We went for some drinks. And it all started off very well. Like, he was kind of one of those, like, douchey, cool guys. Like, he wasn't super funny. He wasn't super friendly.
He had no personality. He was just, like, muscle.
Yeah, but he had the charm. Like, when you first met him, like, when I first started talking to him, I was like... Because we'd been texting for a while, and he seemed fine. But yeah, when we first met, I got weird vibes from him. I was like, you don't seem that friendly, but whatever, I'll give you a chance. But then he had that very, like, you know when guys are, like, kind of mean, but in a flirty way? Just a typical fuckboy. Like, he just had that, like, swag, whatever. So anyway, we were, like, having a good time, and I, like, genuinely was enjoying the night. And then, I don't know what happened to this man, but he had one drink too many, and we were doing this little, like, bar crawl, and we were sitting at this bar, and he just lost it. Like, oh my god, he just literally got mean. Like, it started with him asking me, do you have a cousin who lives in California? And I was like, no, I'm Canadian. Like, I don't know any Americans. I don't have American family. And he was like, oh, well, I think you do. And I was like, what do you mean? And he's like, he asked me, he's like, do you know a guy called, like, Tyler? And I was like, no. And he's like, 'cause you look like him. And I was like, okay. And he's like, has anyone ever told you look like a man? And I was like, no, but thanks. And he's like, no, I mean, you really look like a dude. And I was like, okay. I was like, if you're trying to insult me, you're not. Like, I look like my dad. You're totally right. Like,
and a lot of women do. I look like my dad, too.
But yeah, so he starts going on about this. And then that somehow escalated to, oh man, he went through so many things. Then he was like, he was like asking me how many people I'd slept with, and I was like, I don't think that's any of your business. And he was like, that means you're a slut. And I was like, what? And he's like, the fact that you won't tell me means you fucked a lot of people. And I was like, well, no, but I don't think you have any right to like know that. And he started going off about how like women's bodies are a temple and women need to respect that. And you know, girls these days are such hoes because they just open their legs for anyone.
No.
And then I was like, well, would you say the same thing about a guy? I was like, how many girls have you been with that you're like so high and mighty to say this? And he's like, oh, probably like 40. And I was like, wow, so you can sleep with 40 women, but you're saying women are hoes. Like, what? And then I was like, would you say the same thing to a guy? Like, and he was like, no, men can do what they want. Men are meant to spread their seed.
Ew.
And I was like,
Meant.
oh my God, this guy, like, oh, and then he just kept going on about all this stuff. And then he also started talking about,
Sir, your misogyny is showing.
yeah, just a little. Just a little. But he just kept going on, like, all of these things. And I was just done at this point, obviously. I was like,
I would have
I
walked
hate
away.
you.
I would have just gotten up and been like,
Well,
we're done.
that's
Bye.
the thing.
I wouldn't even say that. I just walk up. I just leave. I just like, not
And
even
that's
say a
what,
word.
the thing is, that's what I tried to do. I was just like, I'm gonna go. I was like, I actually hate you. You're a terrible human being. I'm just gonna go. And he got so angry. Like, he came up and he blocked me, because we were sitting on in a booth, like, by the wall. And he came and he sat beside me, so I couldn't get out. And he's like, are you mad? And I was like, obviously I'm mad. And he was like, why? What did I do wrong? And I was like, are you serious?
The audacity.
Yeah. And then he wouldn't let me go. And he was just like, come on, just stay for a bit longer. You know, I was just joking. I was like, you were not joking. Like,
no.
you're just an actual dick.
And even if you were joking, not funny.
Yeah.
0 out of 10.
Not so funny.
Not laughing.
Yeah, not cool.
So
And
maybe
then-
I'll just leave you because you're not good at making jokes.
Yeah. And then maybe you can learn your lesson and stop making those jokes. Like,
Yeah, they're not funny.
oh my God.
You're not punching up. Not funny.
Yeah. And then we sat there for about like 5 minutes arguing. And then he was like, I'm gonna go have a cigarette. Wait here.
Yes,
So obviously, as soon as
he
he
left.
went to get a cigarette, I ran out. He
Idiot.
called me 24 times. He called me 24 times, asking. He just kept leaving voicemail. So eventually, I answered, and he was like, "Where did you go? Did you leave?" And I was like, "Yeah." And he's like, "To where?" And I was like, "My house." And he's like, "In Suwon?" And I was like, "Yeah." And he's like, "I can't believe you did this. I thought we were having such a good time." And I was like, "Please don't ever call me again."
Oh my God.
And then I blocked him. I don't know if he ever tried to call me again, but I blocked him.
Oh my.
So
That's
that was
incredible.
the wildest one. I was
That's
just like,
incredible.
oh my God, yeah.
The audacity of that man.
The audacity, yeah. He was pretty cray-cray. Oh, I'm gonna add one more thing. If you choose to go to Korea and you're looking for love, have a great time. Be careful and have a great
And
time.
you're looking for love, don't.
Actually, yeah, that's right.
I thought that's what you were gonna say.
I thought so too. I was gonna inspire people, but mostly don't do it.
Yeah.
But that's like not a Korea thing. That's just a
That's a
worldwide
life thing.
Love is dead.
Yeah.
Except for Jenna.
Okay, so that was the final video in this saga. We've been at this for hours. We're exhausted. Thank you for sitting with us through the chaos. Please understand that we are joking, like, most of the time with all these. Like, we have
90%.
very dark humor.
Yeah.
Do not take it seriously. Thank you so much for watching. If you made it through, congratulations. You did it. You made it. If you like this content, please like and subscribe for more. Feel free to leave comments down below. And we'll see you in the next one.
Thanks for joining. Bye.